What is up, people? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another video. Welcome to my channel. It's time to make another video, guys. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Please continue to subscribe to the channel. It really massively helps. And also please continue to push that thumbs up button to like the videos, and also push that notification bell so that you can get notified each time I post a new video. Now my voice is getting a little bit better in terms of the flu. Yeah, guys, maybe I'm not going to be coughing as much today, but I do sincerely apologize should I cough a bit, because like when I start talking a lot and like I talk for a long time, I kind of like need to cough. So I really apologize for that. But yeah, guys, man, let's go into the videos. Well, let's go on with the video. Obviously, there are games that are playing there are midweek games that are playing this week in the Premier League. But Arsenal and Man City are not going to be playing because the game, like Arsenal and Man City were supposed to play one another this week. But the game between City and Arsenal has now since been postponed because Arsenal have to basically play a Europa League fixture against PSV on Thursday. So that's why we are not playing this week and Arsenal are not playing. So we're going to play next against Brighton at the weekend. During the weekend. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be previewing some of the games that the big six clubs are going to be playing in tomorrow. All the big six clubs are going to be playing tomorrow. Man United are going to play Tottenham. Chelsea are going to play Brentford, and Liverpool are going to play West Ham. So I'll start with the bigger game. So I'll start with the Man United versus Tottenham game. Obviously, this is an intriguing matchup between, Antonio Conte and this guy, Eric Ten Hag. And the reason why it's an intriguing matchup is because you've got two coaches that have two contrasting styles of football. Even though Ten Hag has been playing a pragmatic style from time to time so far this season, because obviously he doesn't have the players that are capable of playing the style of play that he wants to play, the attacking tiki-taka style of football that he wants to play. So that's why he's at times been pragmatic, but also at times been attacking. Whereas Antonio Conte, we know he likes a pragmatic style. It's defend first before you attack, and once he gets the ball once the ball gets to his front players, the likes of Harry Kane, the likes of Son, they attack with pace and power, and they can be quite electric in the counter-attack, on the counter-attack at times. So I think it's going to be an intriguing matchup between Man United and Tottenham. I think for Tottenham, Richarlison got injured during the game that they played against, who were they playing against this past weekend? They played against Everton. I think Richarlison got injured in that game. And also, Kulusevski is still injured at the moment, so I'm not quite sure whether Spurs are at full strength when it comes to their attacking threat. Harry Kane obviously and Son are fit, but I don't think Richarlison got injured, and I don't think Kulusevski has come back come back to training or come back to full fitness as of yet. I think he's been injured since the international break because he got injured while on international duty for Sweden. So a couple of problems there for Spurs on their attacking end. Apart from Richarlison and Kulusevski, I'm not aware of any injuries that they have. I think Bentancur is fit. I think Højbjerg is fit. Højbjerg is fit, and yeah, the majority of their team, like they have the majority of their team, just that they are missing quite a few people on the offensive end. And when it comes to Man United, I think Man United I'm not sure if Martial is injured or is fit. I remember he went off against Everton when Man United played Everton 2 weeks ago. It was not last week. It was 2 weeks ago, yeah. When Man United played Everton 2 weeks ago, he got injured in that game. That's when Ronaldo scored his 700th professional career club goal. Great achievement by him. But Martial got injured in that game. Now, I'm not sure if he's back to full fitness because I didn't really watch the Newcastle game for Man United, so I'm not sure whether he wasn't in the squad or not. But apart from Martial, I haven't heard of any fresh injury concerns for Eric Ten Hag and Man United for tomorrow. So it should be an intriguing matchup between Spurs and Man United. Obviously, Spurs have started the season off very well. In their first 10 games, this is the best start they've had to a Premier League season ever in their history. Even though their fans are moaning about really at this moment in time about Antonio Conte's style of football, they are currently sitting third on 24 points, and they are third behind Man City and Arsenal. They are level on points with Man City. The only reason why they're behind is because of goal difference. And they're only 3 points behind the leaders, Arsenal. So I don't know what the Spurs fans are moaning about because they're only 3 points off top spot. So I don't know what they're really moaning about because they've had managers who've played a great style of football before, but they've never had as good a start as they've had under Antonio Conte so far this season. So I'm not sure really what they're moaning about. And obviously Man United are, I think, currently fifth. I'm not quite sure. I think Chelsea are fourth. But Man United also have started the season off like on a decent note. Obviously, they lost those first two games of Erik ten Hag's reign. They lost to Brighton 2-1 and they lost to Brentford 4-0. But since then, they've really kind of picked up the slack and they have improved. They have massively improved. They are like working a lot harder than they used to do. They are playing at a higher intensity than they usually did before before the Liverpool game they played at Old Trafford when they won 2-1 against Liverpool. So I think this is going to be an intriguing matchup because also if Erik ten Hag underestimates Spurs and he tries to play a full-on attacking style of football, I think that's going to suit Tottenham, and Tottenham are just going to try and hit them on the break. And Tottenham can be very dangerous when it comes to counter-attacking teams. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Erik ten Hag approaches this game. Is he going to go, is he going to attack in spells and defend in spells? Or is he going to go all-out attack, give license to his forward players to go forward and to basically put Tottenham to the sword? Also, actually, I did forget about this. Another injury concern is Christian Eriksen, because he did not play in the game against Newcastle. And what I was the vibe I was hearing the vibe I was getting from Man United fans was that they really missed Christian Eriksen in that game. They missed his creative ability and his ability to kind of drop deep and almost act as like a defensive midfielder so they can receive the ball deep and link the defense to attack. He does that really well. So they kind of missed that against Newcastle. So I'm not sure if he's going to be available for selection against Tottenham, but I'm pretty sure Erik ten Hag is going to be scratching his head a little bit if he's not available because he's a key player for them and he's been a key player for them this season. And actually, it's kind of he's proving his doubters wrong because I did hear a few people earlier in the season talking about like Eriksen not kind of improving the quality of Man United's team and people saying he was not going to be a starter for Man United. And so far this season, one could argue he's been their best player. So I think it's testament to how good he is. Also, like I think Christian Eriksen can be like at times he's like people underrate him because he does not have like huge numbers in terms of assists. So like so far this season, I don't think he has like more than 3 assists. I'm not sure about this, but when you look at his overall play and what he brings to the table and what he brings to the team, it is a lot deeper than statistics. So he might have 0 goals and maybe 2 assists so far this season, but in terms of the creative output and how better the team looks when he's in the team, that is unquestionable. So sometimes, like obviously, some people like to banter people about their stats and like to criticize people like that. Oh, he's so shit because his stats are poor or whatever. But the game is a lot more about stats. And if you really have a deep appreciation for the game, you'll know that it is a lot deeper than statistics. It is a lot more than goals and assists. Yes, goals and assists are very important, By no means am I saying, by no stretch of imagination, am I saying goals and assists are irrelevant, because ultimately they are what causes you to win the game. But you have to look a lot deeper than, like, for some players, you have to look a lot deeper than goals and assists to understand what they bring to the table, to understand what they bring to the team. And a lot of the times, I'm thinking about Firmino when I'm saying this. A lot of players sacrifice goals and assists so that they can, like, for the benefit of the team. So like, Firmino is the typical example at Liverpool, where he gets deployed as a striker, but he sacrifices himself and drops into midfield so that they can create space for the wingers. And as a result, the wingers get very high numbers, but he doesn't get as high. He doesn't get numbers as high as those wingers, but he sacrifices for the benefit of the team. But you have to have a deep appreciation of the game to understand that. Some people just look at the stats and they just say, "Oh well, he's shocking because he has no goals and assists or whatever." I think the game's a lot deeper than that. But I think Christian Eriksen is really pivotal to the way Man United play, and it's going to be really difficult for them to kind of get a result against Tottenham if Christian Eriksen is not playing, because they really struggle to create chances when Christian Eriksen is not playing. So I think it's going to be a good game between Man United and Tottenham. I think it's going to be an intriguing matchup between the two coaches. Yeah, man, I'm going to go... It's very difficult to kind of call, because I'm not actually sure how Erik ten Hag is going to approach the game. Because if he approaches the game kind of like all-out attack, I think his side could be vulnerable on the counter-attack because of the counter-attacking threat that Spurs offer. So I think it's going to be an intriguing matchup. Because I'm not sure, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. But if Eriksen is not playing for Man United... Sorry there, guys. If Eriksen is not playing for Man United, I don't think Man United are going to win. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs win. But if he's playing, I'm going for a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw, and the teams are going to share the spoils. I want to say Tottenham are going to win, but I'm not quite sure with regards to how Erik ten Hag is going to approach the game. And I backed Spurs a lot against Arsenal, and they were not precise enough on the counter attack. Maybe they were not precise enough because it was a North London derby. Maybe they were feeling a bit nostalgic about it, since they lose all the time at the Emirates. So it might be different tomorrow. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. You know what? Now I'm going to go for a Tottenham win. I'm going for a Tottenham win. I'm going for a 3-1 Tottenham win. I'm checking. My gut feeling says Tottenham are going to win, so I'm going to go for a Tottenham win. And then the other game is between Chelsea and Brentford. Now, Chelsea are playing really well at the minute under Graham Potter. Mason Mount seems to be enjoying his football again. The players seem like they're smiling a lot more than they did under Thomas Tuchel. I think Thomas Tuchel kind of like lost the plot a little bit at the end of his tenure at Chelsea. And yeah, man, Graham Potter has the team playing in a way that is a lot more flexible than how the team played against under Thomas Tuchel. And Conor Gallagher is also getting a few opportunities. He also Kepa is also getting an opportunity, and he had a man of the match performance against who did they play at the weekend? They played Aston Villa. He had a man of the match performance against Aston Villa, making saves left, right, and centre. So I think he is slowly regaining his confidence because Graham Potter believes in him. So yeah, man, I think Chelsea are really playing well at the moment, and Brentford are kind of like, they are. Obviously, they have Ivan Toney, who's a really good striker, and Brentford won their last game against Brighton, which I actually said I actually didn't say anything about it because I don't really do previews for the lesser games. No disrespect to those teams, but you get what I mean. But I did actually watch that Brentford game that they played against Brighton on Friday last week, and they won. Brentford won 2-0. Ivan Toney scored 2 goals. I think he scored one from the penalty spot, and he scored another one. So Brentford are a good side, but Chelsea are playing really well at the moment. and they are also keeping clean sheets. Mason Mount is back to his best. Aubameyang has got a couple of goals under under Thomas Tuchel, not Antonio Conte. So I think it's really I just don't see Brentford winning. I don't see them even getting a draw because I think Chelsea are playing really well at the moment. So yeah, I think Chelsea like they have improved a lot under Graham Potter. Obviously Graham Potter is a great man manager as well, and he puts his arm around players, and he kind of like Graham Potter is thingy. He's a qualified graduate in like what is it called? What is that course called? But like it's a course about human, like the human brain. Basically, it's basically studying how humans think. So he's basically it's kind of like a psychologist, even though it's not. He didn't do a course on psychology, but it's a similar course in that it basically analyzes the way humans think. So that's why he's a really good man manager, and you can tell because the Chelsea players seem like they're really enjoying their football. He's also rotating the team really well. He's not like playing the same players all the time. He's rotating the team really well. And that's really important when you have a big squad. You have to utilize the whole squad to try and make sure that the squad is in good harmony, try and make sure that the players are happy and not like no players kind of like not happy and all of that. So I think he's really doing a good job at the moment at Chelsea, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I think as good a team Brentford are, because I think Brentford are a good team. Obviously, they don't have the financial power to compete with the best teams in the Premier League and all of that stuff, but they are a good side. They're a decent outfit. They're exceptionally coached. Thomas Frank is a good coach. And yeah, man, I think Brentford are going to give Chelsea a game, but I just don't see Brentford winning or drawing the game because I think Chelsea are really playing well at the moment. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Chelsea win. I think Brentford are going to give a good account of themselves. I don't think they're going to get battered, but I do think they're going to lose 2-0. And then over to the last game, obviously that's going to play because the other game that was going to play was between Man City and Arsenal, but that has been postponed. The last game is between Liverpool and West Ham. Now, West Ham started the season really like on a bad... Oh, fuck, man, sorry. Apologize for kicking the thing, guys. I kicked the thing. Sorry. But basically... West Ham started the season really like on a bad note. They were losing games, they were drawing games. They didn't seem like they have the spark that they showed last season. But they have since picked up the slack. And I could say the same thing about Liverpool in that they really started the season off poorly. I am still not convinced by Liverpool, if I'm being perfectly honest. Even though I still back them to make top 4 because I think they have good players. So, like, they're not all of a sudden going to be like 10th on the table. So I still think they're going to make top 4, but I'm yet to be convinced. I know they beat City. I know I support City, so you might be like kind of lashing out at me and saying like, well, what are you going on about? We just beat you and all of that. But I am still not convinced by Liverpool because in their 9 games so far, they have won 3 games and they've lost against Man United. They've lost against Arsenal. Okay, Arsenal are a good team, granted. But they lost against Man United, lost against Arsenal, drew against Fulham, drew against Crystal Palace, scraped to victory against Newcastle. So I have to see more from Liverpool to be like overly convinced by them that they're back and all of that stuff. I know their fans are really kind of like hyped up at the moment in that they're back and they're going to be in the title race and all of that stuff. I'm not saying Liverpool are not going to be in the title race or whatever. They might be in the title race. I'm not really interested in talking about the title race, to be honest, because I just talk, like, I'm more interested in who's going to win, who's going to finish second. Like, I like to be definitive with regards to how I say things. I say City are going to win the league, and that's it. Whether they finish 10 points ahead of Arsenal or Liverpool, or they finish 2 points ahead of them, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. Preferably, as a City fan, I would like to finish 10 to 15 points ahead of second. And I know you might say that's not good for the competition and all that stuff, but I would rather not go through the headache of going into every game saying like we have to win because Liverpool are breathing down our necks and all of that stuff. But obviously it's great for the game. it's great for the Premier League if it's a competitive title race. But for me, selfishly, as a City fan, I would like to win it like with 10 points. 10 to 15 points. Also, that would kind of give us a luxury in the Champions League when you get to the latter stages of the Champions League, in that we could rest players for the Premier League games if like we have a 15-point cushion between us and second. But obviously, we'll see what happens whenever we get there. But I was talking about Liverpool, saying that I'm yet to be convinced by Liverpool, and I have to see more from them to kind of like say, okay, they're back. They're back to their best, and they're really playing at that high tempo that we know they are capable of. Because I also think Liverpool would have had an easier game playing against Man City than they had against probably, let's say, Fulham or Brighton. And the reason why I say that is because as much as Fulham and Brighton have less quality players than Man City play one way. They attack. They don't defend first before they attack. They attack first before they defend. As a result, there's always spaces to exploit if you are going to counter-attack them, which is what Liverpool were doing. And ultimately, Liverpool forced an error because they were counter-attacking us and putting us under pressure on the counter-attack. Whereas when you play a West Ham are going to sit back and you have to attack them. They're the ones who are going to try and counter-attack you. So you can't both sit back, so you have to take the game to them if you want to win. West Ham couldn't care less whether they win or they draw against Liverpool or they lose against Liverpool, because their season is not going to be defined by what they do against Liverpool. So that's why they're going to go to Anfield and they're going to sit back and they're going to try and counter-attack Liverpool. And now Liverpool are going to have to be intricate in their play, and they're going to have to come up with a way of breaking them down. So I think it's going to be a lot a lot trickier for Liverpool to play West Ham than it was to play Man City. If you get what I mean. But in terms of Liverpool, obviously, great win for them against Man City, winning 1-0. Great hard-fought victory for them. And yeah, man, I think it's going to be a good game between them and West Ham. West Ham always give you a game. They're side that's very tough to play against. They have some good flair players on the offensive end, good attacking players that can punish you. So I think they always give you a good game, and they're going to give Liverpool a good game tomorrow. And I would probably lean towards a Liverpool win because it's at Anfield. But I don't think they're going to be like they're gonna batter West Ham or anything like that, because I think West Ham is a thingy. I think West Ham is a good side. So I am probably going. Oh, and with regards to injuries, I think for Liverpool, Jota is injured. He's out until the World Cup. Until after the World Cup. Obviously, Luis Diaz is injured as well. Until after the World Cup. And then Trent is fit as far as I'm concerned, because he did actually he did not start against Man City, but he did come into the game in the second half. So he's probably going to start against West Ham. And Robertson is fit again. I think Matip is injured and Konate is injured, but Joe Gomez is fit to play at centre back. So they do have a couple of injuries, but they also have like a lot of their players are fit and ready to play. So I think it's going to be a good, intriguing matchup between West Ham and Liverpool. But I'm probably going to lean towards the Liverpool victory because it's at Anfield, and Liverpool really played great at Anfield. So I'm probably going to go for a 2-1 narrow Liverpool win. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think they're going to get it done in the end, and they're going to win 2-1. So yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you have any comments on basically the comments that I've been making about these games, please comment in the comment section down below. And also, if you have any if you haven't done so, please guys, subscribe to the channel, and also please push the notification bell so that you can get notified each time I post a new video. And yeah, guys, please push the thumbs up button to continue to like the videos. I really appreciate that, because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. But I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and thank you for watching the video. Thank you for supporting the channel. And yeah, man, I'll see you on Thursday when I'm reviewing the games that are going to be playing tomorrow. See you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, and have a great evening.